Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of y'all, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. That being said, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to Saeed for what he sent me. And I also want to give a shout out to John Westside for what he sent me. But I'm still listening in bits and pieces because I'm working to what you sent. And I'll try to cover that later on. But Saeed sent me a screenshot in which I don't know actually if the poster is a man or a woman, but someone was advising the single moms to go to the church and find a man to love. Stop looking for them street dudes. Go to the church. Bring your kids to the church. Bring street dudes' kids to the church to find a church man. Pretty much choose like Sierra chose when it comes to reproduction. And then get you a Russell later on for the commitment. Now, I understand that Sierra's not nearly as ratchet as a lot of the ladies are that do this as a habit, as a rule. I mean, Sierra actually was imprinted probably by guys like Russell. But she still was willing to try to supplant that imprint with 50 Cent and Future. Still was. And mind you, she left Future. She was the one that left. Matter of fact, I think they were engaged, if I'm not mistaken. But my memory could be bad. However, so she's not the stereotypical dual mater, if you will. However, still, she chose the reproduction with one and the commitment from the other. And she decides that she gonna take off her shirt and turn her back to a camera and twerk while he's away playing and training. I'm like, we don't do that. We don't do that. I don't want to hear nothing about your covenant, and that's what you doing. You get a covenanted man. Now I ain't Christian, but you get one like that, and that's how you treat him. And granted, she had more kids for him than she had for Future, but you get the idea. These ladies are trying to do the same thing while being these stereotypical ratchets. And then talk about go to the church and get you one of them church men. Now, in order of religions as far as black men go, I will give credit where it's due. The Hebrew Israelite men are the ones that are the most advanced when it comes to this red pill awareness as a group, from what I've observed from afar. That's them. Now, because the Christians outnumber us by us Muslims by a pretty wide margin, I'm not sure whether the Muslims are more advanced with this or the Christians are. I'm not sure. What I do know is that because we Muslims are smaller in number, we do have a chance to spread this amongst our population more quickly, only because our population is fewer in number. That's all that is. But it is our responsibility. The Christians, I'm very sure, would tell you that it's their responsibility to spread this message amongst black men in general. But understand that while the church is being targeted, what that means for us Muslims is that we're next. Because there will come a point wherein they'll go to the church and they'll find that the men are in church for God and that they're not in church for a lady, for a wife. Because that ain't where they at. They'll come to understand this. It's already spreading. You already got men that walked out of a church when the pastor tried that mess. You brothers, wife up these single moms and raise these kids. And men walked out like they ain't our kids. F out of here. And see, that's a harsh message to send to the kids. But eventually the boys will grow up and understand. They're right. They were not our dads. The girls may grow up and be like, they ain't nothing. They could have tuck us in and raised us. But that's only because they want to do the same thing their mamas did and still have somebody, still always have an endless supply of stepdads that they can use to usurp the biological father who has the rights. That's what they're looking to do. Because that's how they're raised. But the job of us Muslim men is to spread this amongst each other, because when they realize that the church is not stocked with these kinds of men, they're going to come next to us. They're going to say, girl, you know, them Muslim men, they can marry Christian and Jewish women. And, you know, they're against fornication, so they're not getting it like that. And Muslim women ain't walking up to them and talking to them about marriage, bringing up these conversations. So, girl, they ripe for the picking. A lot of them single. They ain't getting it elsewhere. And the Muslim women are not willing to compete for them. Girl, go ahead. It's stepdaddy season, sis. Go get you one. Of course, Christmas rolls around and we don't celebrate, they're going to be ticked, but that's a different story. And this is what they're going to be doing. That's what they're going to say next. When they realize that the church is dried up and the Hebrew Israelite centers of worship were never fertile grounds for that anyway, guess who's next? You, sir. You're next. And that's what I wanted you to understand. You are here next. So this is our job, to make sure that we let other Muslim brothers know about this, because, well, the men who don't know and are Muslim are going to be the targets, the marks. Thanks for listening. Black heart, black mind, blackout, assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction or judgment day.